Hi guys, hope you're well. I just did a course and we were talking about breaking bad news, and one of the most common questions I get about breaking bad news is how to deal with challenging questions. You know, when you get those questions in a role play where someone says something like, how long have I got left, doctor? Or am I going to die, doctor? Now these are really tough questions, and often in a role play like this you don't have the answer to those because you've only just maybe broken news about following an x-ray result or something like that. Now, I often see people get very stuck with these questions, and they might try and ignore them, they might just try and move on, they might try and answer it, but answer things with information that you just haven't got yet, kind of make things up, and it gets very, very difficult. And naturally, this then leads to further questions that makes it harder. So when we teach for these things and things like plab 2, RCA, CSA, these kind of assessments, we talk about a 3-step strategy. Prepare for these questions because they're going to happen, but have 3 steps that allow you to manage the situation as easy as you can. Number 1 is acknowledge. Number 2 is be honest. And number 3 is keep the ball rolling. Number 1, acknowledge. Number 2, honest. Number 3, keep the ball rolling. Let's go through the 3 steps. Let's start with number 1, acknowledge. Now, if someone asks a question like this, you can't ignore it. You have to acknowledge the question. You have to demonstrate that you're aware of where that question came from. If someone says, doctor, how long have I got left to live? Or doctor, am I going to die? You have to reflect that back. Like, gosh, I can see all sorts of questions are going to come to your mind right now. I can see that there's going to be lots of challenging questions that you're thinking about. I think that's completely normal, and you're right to think about those kind of questions. Because if you don't acknowledge it, then it looks like you haven't internalized it. You haven't seen where it's coming from. However, if you just stop at acknowledgement and leave it at that, then the question will come again. Well, what do you think, doctor? Like, what's the answer? So you have to do step 2. Step 2 is being honest. Now, by being honest, there's nothing wrong in saying that you don't know the answer. It's just about doing it in a way that you've practiced and rehearsed. So someone says to you, doctor, how long have I got left to live? Now, honesty is important. So you'd say, look, Mr. X, I'll be honest, I don't really have the answer to that question right now. Or, doctor, am I going to die? Mrs. X, look, acknowledge it. I can see that, this is a tough time and these kind of questions are going to come. I'll be honest with you, at this point, I don't have an answer to that. Because if you try and go all hoo-ha and just kind of pretend you're going to walk your way through and wander your way through that question, there's no winning there. You've got to be honest. However, if we just stop there, so you didn't step 1, step 2, but stop, then you're going to get lots of natural questions to follow. So you've got to do the 3rd step, which is keep the ball rolling. What do I mean by this? So you've acknowledged the question, you've given an honest answer. Now you've got to turn the conversation back into something progressive, not regressive, not where lots of questions are going to follow. So Mrs. X, look, I can see where that question's come from. I can imagine a lot of questions are going through your mind right now. I'll be honest, we don't have an answer to that question just yet, but let's see what we can do. Let's talk about some of the things that will be happening that are coming up that will allow us to get closer to those answers for you. See how I've kept the ball rolling, I've kept things moving, and I'm taking it into the realm of where we're going next. So someone says, doctor, how long have I got left to live? Mr. X, look, I can imagine that a lot of questions go through your mind right now, and I think those are quite reasonable questions. I'll be honest, at this point, we don't have the answer to those questions, but let's talk about some of the things that we can do to try and get us closer to some of those answers for you. And then you start going with things like further investigations, maybe, or referrals or specialists, etc. But you see, if you don't have a plan as to how to deal with difficult questions and kind of hope that I don't get them or I just magically know what to do when they come, then you're going to struggle in assessments and role plays because there are some difficult situations that you may come across. However, as with many things when it comes to role play assessments, anticipating it, expecting it, and planning for it and having a strategy can really work. So next time you practice these things in your role plays or your consults, think about these 3 steps, okay? When you get breaking bad news, you'll get difficult questions, think about these 3 steps. Number 1, acknowledge. Number 2, be honest. And number 3, keep the ball rolling. Look, I really hope this helps. We've got so many more communication skills, consultation skills videos on our YouTube channel. So subscribe, share, comment, tag, etc. if you can. We've got so much more teaching like this on our communication skills online courses and audio courses, whether it be plab 2, RCA, CSA, and many others as well. If you want to take advantage of those courses, then please do use the coupon Arora Video 10, ARORA VIDEO 10,
on the website auroramedicaleducation.co.uk for 10% off for having watched this video. Guys, hope you found this useful. You know the hashtag, can pass will pass, hashtag I went with Arora. Have a great day.